It is said that rainforests are the lungs of the earth. At the rate they are disappearing, Mother Earth will be gasping for breath in the not-too-distant future. They also have the potential for being the source of new drugs to combat the many diseases that inflict mankind. 50 million years ago, most of Australia was covered by rainforest. By the time of European settlement, only about 1% was left. At least they can't blame us for that. We have, however, managed to reduce that figure down to 0.3%. The good news is that what is left is now mostly protected by national park status or World Heritage listing. The Greater Daintree area in Queensland is protected by the latter, much to the dismay of the logging industry. However, what income that was lost has now been more than compensated for by the surge in ecotourism. A perfect example of this turnaround in Queensland's economy is Port Douglas. Once one of the sleepiest and most forgotten of Queensland's coastal towns, the only thing that it was noted for was its long, flat beach, an ideal place for the local revheads to challenge each other to races on the hard-packed sand. Then along came a guy called Christopher Skase to build his luxury resort. He'll go broke in 12 months, the local said. While his financial status gave much cause for debate in later years, his resort was an instant success, so much so that others followed. Almost overnight, Port Douglas became a mecca for Australian and overseas tourists.
Paradise, we are parking with a big hotel, tea and sewing and hot spot.
In the early days, Port Douglas was a rival for Cairns for the status of the North's major city. But when Cairns became the railhead for the hinterland, Port Douglas was well and truly left behind until the mid-1980s. One thing that it has that Cairns hasn't is that magnificent beach. Today, however, is a nice day, so let's head down to the marina to board the big catamaran for a cruise to the Low Islands. as we sail out into waters that almost sank Captain Cook's ship, it is good to know that our ship is in safe feet.
One of the crew members will make an announcement for that.
Low Island and nearby Woody Island are coral caves and part of the protected Barrier Reef National Park. Access to the islands is only allowed between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m, with Woody Island being off limits completely during the nesting season. Our day trippers, however, are determined to make the most of the warm autumn sunshine, as all around them the sparkling waters beckon invitingly. One of the island's permanent residents, the osprey, keeps watch while his mate seems to have taken upon itself to repaint the glass on the lighthouse. Now solar powered, there is no need for this facility to be manned anymore. The main reason for visiting this tiny tropical island is not immediately apparent, for here the beauty of the Barrier Reef lies just below the surface of the warm tropical water. Unlike Green Island just off Cairns, Low Island does not appear to have suffered from the ravages of cyclones or crown-of-thorns starfish or too many tourists, as it still has an abundance of colourful corals just off the beach. All too soon, it is time to hand back our snorkel, mask and flippers and begin the homeward journey. The washing of the feet is not some strange Queensland religious ceremony, but is more in the interests of good housekeeping to rid the feet of pesky, sticky sand. Now we can all go home with our nice, clean feet.